Welcome. Welcome to Thoughts Roundup. Thank you for being with me today. We had Brother Bob Thornton the other day, and you got to see him as he delivered his poem. We have him back today. Thank you for being here.
Good to be with you, Brother Marler.
Yeah. Not every preacher can do this. It's just so nice to have you here to be able to. I hear people quoting, but never to this extent. And it's just a part of you, I guess. And ever since I've known you, you have been quoting. I mentioned something about it the other day when we was having a little something to eat, and you just started off in that world of. It's a beautiful thing to be able to have a memory like that. And your son, Pastor Chris, he mentioned something about Parson Jones and Deacon Brown.
Yeah.
Parson Jones and Deacon Brown.
Yeah.
And he said you had a great poem for that.
Yeah.
So why don't you just give that to us?
Said Parson Jones to Deacon Brown, those Pentecostals have just hit town. If they're as bad as what I've heard, there's something awful upon my word. I must warn my people one and all to stay away from the mission hall. So the very next day, here his text he read, the parson gave warning, as he'd said. He told of the danger, both great and small, that lurks, so he said, at the mission hall. Quote, he explained to old and young, those folks are demon-possessed if they talk in tongues. So as the deacon plodded home that day, he pondered deeply along the way. Thought he to himself, if what I've heard is right, those Pentecostals must be a sight. I think I'll just sneak down and see. I'm firm of faith and they can't trap me. So keeping in shadows of fences and walls, he made his way to the mission hall. He paused outside, impaled with fear and pride. Then he mounted the steps and he went inside. Thought he to himself, I'll sit near the door and I'll slip out before the meeting's over. And though he started again and again, he was there when they shouted the last amen. He went back the next night and then the next. He went so often his wife grew vexed. Said she to a neighbor happened in, them rollers or something's bothering old Jim. Why he prays every morning, says grace so well, and he stopped putting water in the milk he sells. Them rollers or something's bothering him. He's not the same old Jim. But the good wife didn't have long to wait till she found out what was troubling her ailing mate. 'Cause the very next night, so the narrative runs, the deacon come home and he was talking in tongues. He shouted around till she exclaimed, Deacon, you're dancing, I'd be ashamed. 10 o'clock the next morning, Sunday too, found the deacon in his old church pew. He fidgeted around like a big bashful boy, trying to conceal his newfound joy. And ere the meeting had scarcely begun, the deacon was on his feet and he was talking in tongues. An exploding bomb, so witness say, would have caused less confusion on that day. For with braided breath and frightened look, the whole church assembly said horror-struck. Then said Parson Jones to Deacon Brown, you're out of order, boys, sit down, sit down. Out of order all the while, the deacon said, his face lit with a smile. Out of order all these years, I vow, but I got fixed up and I'm all right now. Then come from among them, they heard him say as he passed outside and went his way. The story soon spread, told by old and young, that old Deacon Brown was a-talking in tongues. And many of those church folks who from day to day went with scornful lips remained to pray. Many now are spirit free, all because one old deacon said, I'm going to go see.
Oh yeah, that's so good. That's so good. Well, I'm sure everyone is enjoying that, and I want anyone that is enjoying it to make notice of it on the film. And God bless you. Thank you for listening. Thank you.